Hello. Today I'm going to just show you a couple quick tips that I use when I'm introducing Whiteboard.fi to students for the very first time. And of course, it really depends on the age of your kids, but I think this workflow works really well. So the first thing I would recommend is that you open up your Whiteboard.fi board before you even have your meeting with your kids. And so I'm using Chrome, and I have kind of resized this window. So the teacher side is on the left, and I typed in whiteboard.fi, and I'm going to make a new class. I'm going to put in my name and go ahead and create. Now I'm going to copy this right here. I'm going to copy this right here. I can also copy it up here, or I can copy it here. But I'm not going to give this to the kids yet because I want to model a bit of this slowly, have them do a little bit after I show it, and then continue that process. The other recommendation I would do is open up another browser. I'm using Safari, resize it, and then just go ahead and paste that whiteboard link in there. So this is what it looks like in the student. This is really helpful because kids can see what you're doing and you have control here, but you can also emulate students over here, which is extremely helpful. So I'm going to start off by saying, okay, I'm ready to teach now. I have my windows open. I'm going to go to my classroom and I'm going to join my meeting. For now, I'm going to just turn those off. So my kids are going to join the meeting, and I'm going to say hello and do what I normally do and tell them, hey, today I'm going to teach you a new tool, and I'm going to put it in the chat when we're ready to go. But until we're ready to go, I'm going to demonstrate what to do. So I'm going to go to present, and I'm going to present my entire screen. They will see at this particular point both the teacher view and the student view. Now I'm going to go ahead and hide this here. I want them to see this. So I'm going to pretend that I'm a teacher, and I'm going to say, hey, today I'm going to show you how to use some tools. And so I'm going to just go right into the teacher mode first. And so I'm going to toggle my board, and I'm going to start off by saying this. When I want to teach you something, you are going to make sure that you are looking at the red dot tab. Learning how to navigate with tabs is super important, and it's really going to be the success of your training today or your teaching today. So I would first point out, hey, students, this right here with the red dot, when I'm teaching, I want you to come back to the room, and this is our room so I can teach you. When I want you to do something, I want you to go to the orange W, and you're going to do stuff. So today, right now, you should be in the red dot. They don't even have this yet because I haven't given them the link. After they've learned how to use these tabs, I'm going to say, I'm going to teach you 2 tools today. And then you're going to do it on your board. So the first tool, and it's the default tool, is recognize that the draw tool is in orange. That means that's the tool you're on. It's the active tool. And so if I click on that, I can draw. So if I go back over here and I draw whatever I'm drawing, it draws black. And the reason why it draws black is because my color palette is black. If I decide to click on that, I can pick a different color. And now when I draw, it's purple. Notice that that is purple. I'm now going to go to these little settings here, and I can make things bigger. So if I click back down here, things are bigger. So that's a really important tool, recognizing the colors here and of course the default tool. The next tool that I'm going to teach them is the selection tool. I call it select it to affect it. Anytime we want to affect something we've already done, we select it. So I go here, notice that it is orange. When I drag and cast a net across it, it selects everything. However, if I click outside, I could just click different pieces. Notice that I'm on the arrow tool. If I want this to be blue, now it's blue. If I click on this and I want this to be yellow, now it's going to be yellow. I also can do them all at once. So if I want them all to be green and I want them to be thinner, I can see that. I can even make them a little bit more opaque. Super cool tool. I can also delete it by using the eraser tool. I can use the eraser tool and do it like this, but a more effective tool is to clear the foreground. And the last thing I'm going to teach before we have them go in and doing something is these 2 tools right here. Undo and redo. Undo, 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 undo. It brings back everything step by step that I've done. Redo, redo, redo. All right? So there's only one more thing that we need to show them before they do their own. And that is, we will show them how to put in their name and join. And here I see the student, and this is the most important thing. Boys and girls, friends, this is how you see my whiteboard. This is your whiteboard. I am going to erase everything in here, and I'm going to draw something, and I'm not going to tell you what it is, and you have to try to copycat it down below. I'm going to go back here and show everybody. I'm going to erase everything in there, and now I'm going to give you the code. So I go to the Meet, I paste it in there, they click on the link, they type in their name, and they're here. Remind the kids, make sure you toggle the teacher whiteboard. As a teacher now, I'm back in mine, and I draw something. So I pick whatever color I want to use, and I pick whatever size that I want to create, and I draw something. So I might draw something like this. Now, kids are not going to be able to see you drawing this unless they're back at their Meet, which is fine. What they are going to see here is your whiteboard. So you're going to tell them, draw it. So Sam is going to make sure he has the right color. Sam is going to make sure that he's made the line width a little bit bigger. And then Sam is going to try to draw whatever you have. What's going to be really cool for you as a teacher is if you go back to here, you're going to see all of your students down below and what they've drawn. And if you need to, you can see which kids are having a hard time. If I click on Sam, I do have some actions here. And for the most part, if I need to help erase their whiteboard, I can do that. I can actually kick the student off if I'm finding there's something, inappropriate. But this is kind of a nice tool. It also is just a really great tool to kind of redirect students. I often see kids drawing things that I didn't ask them to do. So I can just say, Sam, I can see your work, change it, okay? Now, once they have done this, and I've looked at all the different boards here, I'm going to tell my students, hey, I'm going to erase my work and your work. So I'm going to go up here to this feature, and I am going to clear all students' boards. So I'd give them a warning, say in 1 minute, I'm going to erase your work. And so here you go. Their work is gone. If I go down to Sam's, his work is gone. And then I want to delete mine as well. I repeat this process so kids can see more tools. And so I'm going to toggle that off, and you can see that it's gone. Sometimes it does take a couple seconds. So now I'm going to tell them, hey, I'm going to teach you some more tools. So now I want to introduce some other tools. I might go into the line tool, show them how to use this. I might want to use the square tool, the circle tool. Notice that when I click on something like this, let's make it a little bit smaller here. This will rotate it as I click on it, and I can resize it. But I can also click on the tools here and change some features in here. So if I want to change it, I can do that. Making things bigger, making the opacity more translucent. So repeat that whole strategy. You draw something, have them try to draw it. I would probably introduce the shape tools and then go into the text tool. So I would do all the shapes first and then maybe have them use the text tool. One thing that I've learned about the text tool, it's best to write your words first. Then select it to affect it, go to your tools, pick whatever color you want, and then if you want to change some other features, do it from here. Select it to affect it, because you'll be able to see that there are some different font sizes, there's different fill colors, there's different outline colors. Now this outline color, I don't see anything yet because I have to add this here, but some kids do this and it gets really wonky. I can also make it more opaque. So repeat that process, have them do things, erase their boards, and continue. The only other thing that I would consider that you cover is that you do have this ability to copy and paste things. So if I really like this, I can copy it and then paste it. So now I have two. I have the ability to zoom in. I have the ability to zoom out. I have the ability to get back to the default. Students can download any image that they make. They also have the ability to move and layer things. So you can see here that maybe I want to have certain things on top of each other or behind things. So if I click on Amy and I want it to go to the back or to the front, I can say go back, go back, go back. And when I, when I click on this, you can see that it's behind this. Move it forward. Now it's in the front. And there it is. All right. You also have the ability to flatten things. So students can click here and flatten it. When they do that, this becomes part of the background, which is really nice. I'm going to clear that. I also have the ability to have different backgrounds like this. It is a background, so I can't move it. I can delete it. Same thing here. And I also have a musical staff, so if I choose to use that, I can as well. I do have some emojis, so if I would like to use an emoji, I can use that as well. And I do have a math equation editor here, so you can try different things in here. When you're all done with instruction, it might be a suggestion for you to save all the whiteboards. That way you can see all of the work. It saves it as a PDF. And you want to make sure that you close the room. So when I close the room, they're out of the room and I can see that it's done. All right. So this is the first step. Again, I probably would not cover all those tools in the first session. I would probably cover, again, my priority tools, which are the select to effect, the draw, the line, the shapes, and the text. Also, undo and redo, and deleting. In the next video, I'll talk a little bit about pushing backgrounds to students so you can see that as well.